Hi! On the Woodpecker today, Renée and I spent 2 weeks at the cottage. And to make our life easier, I made this snowshoe rack and a groomer to have nice trails. We arrived near the cottage without any problem. Yes, 11 kilometers. That's really close in winter. In the past, I attached our snowshoes as best as I could. But with my new snowmobile, I wanted something better. So I'm going to make a snowshoe rack out of unused wood from the studs from our daughter's house. After surfacing a few pieces, I cut them close to the right length. After drawing the angle the rack should have, I place each piece of wood on the template and mark where to rip the pieces. Once everything is marked, it's time to go to the table saw. When it's ripped, I glue all the pieces together and let it dry overnight. The next day, I surface everything straight. With the pieces already cut to the right width, it all comes together really well. To attach the rack to my snowmobile, I'm going to use the bracket from this gas can that a squirrel ate. I tried to fix it, but it's still leaking. The base itself is still in very good condition, so I'll salvage it. With the gas can holder, my angled glue up, and an old cabinet door, I can clearly see that my glue up isn't high enough. So I'll find another cutoff to add, and I can see that this will do the trick. But I need to surface it before I can use it. This time, I'm not going to overthink it. I'll apply a good layer of glue, as usual, but I'll use several screws to hold everything in place. Since it's screwed in and won't budge, I'll trim the edges straight. Before going any further, I'll check if it will do the job I want. Yes, I'm satisfied. I'll temporarily screw the gas can holder to my glue up. Now it's time for another check. I want to put a vertical support in the snowshoes holes just like that. But the piece of wood I have isn't wide enough, so I need to fix that. While the glue dries, I work on the edges that will hold the snowshoes. After marking where they go, I stick them in place with double-sided tape and screw them from the other side. With 4-inch screws, this won't budge. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now that the glue is dry, I can work on the vertical support. Since the quarter round bit is in the router, I'll take the opportunity to smooth everything I can for now. After marking the position of the support, I screw it in place. But this time I use 6-inch screws. I stick my glue up in place with double-sided tape and screw it from the other side. I do one last quick check on the snowmobile before unscrewing a few pieces to cut the old door into a more suitable shape. After smoothing all the corners, I find a piece of hardwood lying around and drill a hole for a bolt. I drill a larger one in the old door. This is for an additional support that I will screw onto the handle of the gas can. After testing my area and seeing that it works perfectly, I can cut the piece to the right length and make sure all the edges are rounded. And finally, my snowshoe rack for my snowmobile is finished. All that's left to do is to paint it. When the paint is dry, I can drill holes for the eye screws I will use to hold the snowshoes in place. The last thing to do is to put in better screws to attach the gas can holder to my rack. And there you have it. Now I'm all set to take our snowshoes to the cottage. As you can see, it works exactly as I wanted. I'm super happy. With the small piece of wood I added, it's super sturdy on the snowmobile's back bin. But something's missing to make me even happier. A plow to groom out our trail in the winter. I left some 2x6s in the shed just for that. Now it's time to bring them inside. Yes, I'm going to make my plow inside because at minus 22 degrees Celsius, it's not very appealing to work outside. Here's all the wood I have for my plow, and here's the plan I've drawn up. All that's left to do is to cut the wood. To prevent the screws from splitting the ends of the boards, I drill holes. Once all the holes are drilled, I cut the front at an angle and screw everything together. Again, I'm using 4-inch screws and quite a lot of them. When I'm finished, I drill 2 holes to attach a chain to the front. With the chain attached, we bring the plow to the snowmobile, and off I go for a first test run. My first attempt wasn't successful. I don't like it. It's not heavy enough. The next day, I cut the rest of my wood and add it to the back section. Now it's time for a second try. I really want more weight, so I add some firewood. And off I go for another attempt. Right from the start, I can see that it's surfacing better. I'm really satisfied now. Here's the trail after straightening everything out. I'm happy. With a nice straight trail like that, it's time for a walk. I love going for walks. A flat trail makes it easier to walk with these big boots. But I didn't just go for walks. We also did some small jobs, like getting rid of that tree that had washed up in front of our cottage last summer. It was impossible to cut into pieces in the water, but not in winter. I managed to cut everything. It feels good. Okay, it looks dirty in the snow, but we'll appreciate it in the summer. Several inches of snow fell one night. It was the perfect time to test my groomer again in loose, uncompacted snow. It really does a super job. I don't regret making it. Plus, it gives me a great flat surface to take long walks on. I've been outside quite a bit, but I've also taken the time to assemble a new circuit that I want to change this spring, in addition to editing this episode. But after 2 weeks, we have to come back home. I promise to help build the house. But to see that, you'll have to come back to see me on the Woodpecker.